So when I was younger, my dream car was a BMW Z4. It's a car that I could buy for less than half the price of the Audi I'm currently driving now. I've spent money on nights out, literally, that cost a lot more than a BMW Z4. But by the time I got to a position where I could buy a car I'd wanted, I'd already passed the Z4 benchmark. So I never really achieved many of my goals because I surpassed the wealth level needed to get them done. I just very recently ordered a super yacht. Now, 5 years ago, that wasn't on my to-do list, and I didn't even think I wanted one. And I got to the point where instead of buying a rowing boat and then a speedboat and then a small luxury yacht like those Lamborghini yachts that Conor McGregor has, I went straight for a 140-foot super yacht. I think that I can't really look back on many of my goals and have claimed to ever achieve them because I overachieved. And that's because I had a blind focus towards getting the work done. I remember the first time I realized that I was a cash millionaire. My brother and I were adding up all the money we had in all of our various accounts. And we had to take that amount of money and divide it by 2, because there's 2 of us, and see if we were cash millionaires. Now, I'd never been a cash millionaire in my life. And when I added up all my money and divided it, I had $1.3 million. I was so focused on what I had to do in terms of make money, stack it up, and put it away, that I'd sailed past the cash millionaire point probably 6 months, 5 months before that, and I didn't even realize. That is the level of blind focus that you need to have. A lot of you are aiming too high with your goals. I know one day you eventually want to be as rich as Elon, so do I, we all do. Everyone wants $300 billion net worth. But when I say you're aiming too high, I don't mean that your goal is unrealistic. I mean it's unrealistic from your current standpoint. Let me give you an example. If I started boxing today, or I started MMA fighting, and I said, it's my goal to knock out John Jones, I have precisely 0 chance of ever doing that. What you need to do is have a goal like have your first professional fight, have your first interclub contest, win your first wrestling contest, win a boxing match. And as and when you achieve your goals, you then move on to bigger ones. A lot of you are sitting around, I want to be a millionaire. That's great. I'm sure you do. My goals are now much bigger than that, as I achieved that accolade a long time ago. However, when I was broke, I didn't think, how am I going to turn myself into a millionaire? I thought, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to buy myself a new car? How am I going to buy myself some new clothes? I need $5,000 a week. I need $10,000 a week. And once you're there, then you can look up and climb the ladder even further. A lot of you people need to get your head out of the clouds and just stop crawling on the floor and learn how to stand up. The clouds are a long way off. A good first supercar for a young adult. It all depends on what you want in a car. If you want a car that drives fast, but you can still use day to day, you could still put your friends in, you could still put things in the trunk, the ideal car would be something like a second-hand BMW M3 or a second-hand BMW M5. You can get pretty good examples for 15 to 20,000 euros, and it will run well, it will drive well, it will drive fast, and it will cover all of your other needs. I think a first supercar is something you want to buy after you already have a day-to-day car. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a basic BMW or Audi or Fiat. You want to buy a supercar when you've already got a car that takes care of your day-to-day needs. I think an ideal first supercar has to be something that you're capable of driving. Because you have to understand, driving a supercar and driving a normal car are 2 very different things. It's why you see idiots online crash their cars very often, because they jump straight into McLarens from driving a normal car and they think it's fast. If you just put your foot down, it will do what you want without spinning out and crashing. So you want to buy something that's relatively easy to drive. Lamborghini Huracans are absolutely fantastic if you can afford one. But the go-to for a first supercar to learn how to drive, and in terms of price point and affordability, will always be a Porsche. Porsche have made so many cars, so many different types of 911, so many sports cars over their lifetime that you can pick them up on the market relatively cheap, secondhand. They're fast, and they'll teach you everything you need to know about how to handle a car with more power than normal. If you're a student of mine and you've bought your first fast car, you need to learn how to walk before you learn how to run. No matter what you do, do not drive that car as fast as you think it can go, because you cannot handle it. You've been driving cars that cannot go that fast and do not have that much power your entire life. Drive your new super fast car at the same speed you drove your old car for at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, then start picking it up. Don't go getting into your first supercar and putting your foot down and driving around like you're Michael Schumacher, because you're not Michael Schumacher and you're going to crash. A lot of people in the motivation space who like reading motivational books and take this stuff very seriously will literally follow the prescription of people whose lives they don't want to be like. People may say stupid things like write down your goals 3 times a day, say them out loud, put a poster of your dream car on the wall behind you. If it helps you, then by all means do it. But that is the least important part of being successful. I don't need my dream car on a poster on the wall behind me. I don't need to wake up every day and say my goals 3 times in a mirror, or to do magic chants, or to manifest things. I wake up knowing that I need to work my ass off, and you need to work your ass off, and everything else is just a distraction. If you're a young man, maybe you're a member of my university, you stack some money together and you want to buy your first ever car, good for you. Don't let anyone talk you out of it. Don't invest the money. If you want to buy a sports car or a supercar or a fast car, you go right ahead and do it. But the first thing you need to do is the first thing I used to do every time I bought a fancy car, is go to see your mom. Show your mom, be proud of yourself, pick her up in the car, give her a spin. There is nobody more important to show off your achievements to than your mother. So that's rule number 1. If you're a student of mine and you make money and you buy a supercar, and the first thing you do is pick up some bimbo with big tits, look, that's 2, 3 on the list. But you better go see your mother and pick her up and drive her around first, or you're no student of mine. When you first start making money, everyone's go-to is cars. Everyone wants to be the guy with the nice car. I get that. I've been that guy for a very long time. However, if you want to be seen as a man by other people, if you're still in the network of having to impress people, having to do business, having to make a good first impression, get yourself a watch. $10,000, nothing too special, maybe even cheaper. Omega, Rolex, Tag, something that's Swiss and something that people look at and go, yeah, the man's got taste. The man has at least a little bit of money. I'll tell you why. I had a business meeting maybe 6 months ago. Someone came to try to pitch me some sort of crypto technology. It was he said he was going to make millions of dollars, billions of dollars in this crypto project because it was decentralized messaging apps or something along those lines. I didn't really listen to him. Why? Because he had a very, very cheap watch on. It was Seiko or Fossil or one of those watches that nobody ever pays attention to. Listen, rich men wear nice watches. And if you're a rich man who doesn't wear a nice watch, you're wearing an Apple Watch, because that's the watch of nerds. Don't underestimate a man in an Apple Watch. He could be a billionaire, but I'm telling you, if you're wearing something that's supposed to look expensive in Swiss and it's not, you have no money. So I wasn't going to sit there and listen to this guy tell me how I'm going to make billions of dollars in his new business when he doesn't even have enough money to wear a